Tonight on News 5 Live, Prime Minister Briceño and the Guatemalan invasion blunder. We'll hear what his Ministry of National Defense says. The leader of the opposition also weighs in on the gaffe. What's the fuss about sending BDF troops to Haiti? The UDP decries the proposed $30 million SSB loan for 2 public administration buildings. And SJC University is officially inaugurated. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Prepárate para el verano más caluroso de la historia con Digi's Sizzling Summer Raffle. Este verano, Digi está regalando $35,000 en premios. Obtenga la oportunidad de ganar DigiCash y premios increíbles todos los días. Y eso no es todo. No hay uno, sino 2 grandes premios. Clientes prepagos por cada $5 en uso principal obtiene una entrada en nuestra rifa diaria. Además, obtenga entradas para sorteos semanales y grandes premios comprando dispositivos promocionales, registrándose en DigiOne Bundle, DigiTV y más. Entonces, no pierdas la oportunidad de ganar a lo grande. Únase a Digi's Sizzling Summer Raffle. Visite www.livedigi.com/inclinada Sizzling Summer para obtener más información sobre cómo participar. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Everything is better electric. Be more efficient with electric vehicles and transforming your home with Energy Star electric appliances and power tools. This helps to create a greener and cleaner world for the next generation. Energize your world with BL.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, October 6th. I am Sabrina Daly. Did Prime Minister John Briceño misspeak on Wednesday? Or was he being sincere when he said, quote, "We can't invade Guatemala as much as we would like to," unquote? Or was he being serious? The statement has come as a shock to many, and there is not yet word as to how our Guatemalan counterparts are interpreting his remarks. The comment was made during an interview with the media. A reporter asked Prime Minister Briceño about rising tensions on Sarstún River and the Guatemalan Armed Forces' aggressive behavior towards Belizeans. In his comments, PM Briceño noted how small Belize's military and population is to Guatemala's. He also expressed concerns over potential loss of lives as a result of the conflict. For context, we bring back the PM's remarks. We also heard from his Minister of National Defense, Florencio Marin.
God forbid one day one of these people were to accidentally pull the trigger or whatever, then what? So we need to be careful, and I urge to the territorial volunteers to be very careful whilst we accept what they're doing and we understand that they're in our territory and Belizeans are supposed to feel free to move anywhere in the country, including the Sarstún. But because of the tense situation with the military in that area, I'm urging them to be careful. They take children out there sometimes, and God forbid something were to happen. What are we going to do? We can't invade Guatemala. as much as we'd like to, but we can't.
You're sure the Prime Minister didn't misspoke? I mean, I would have liked to think that he would have run that to us in Cabinet, so we have gotten no such directive.
Earlier today, opposition leader Shine Barrow also weighed in on the comments made by Prime Minister Briceño on Wednesday as it relates to the Belize-Guatemala territorial dispute. It is unclear whether the head of government misspoke or if his words were deliberate and meant to be controversial. This morning, during a press conference held by the United Democratic Party, the leader of the opposition raked PM Briceño over the coals for those remarks.
We all know that the Prime Minister has large shortcomings. We know that he can't think properly, he can't speak properly, and this is just another example, a very embarrassing example of his inabilities and his unsuitability to lead this country, because something like that could be taken, and while he's trying to chastise Wilma here, what is more agitating and what escalates things more than you telling a country you want to invade the country? Like, what is he thinking? But then we know the Prime Minister, his brain is empty, his head is empty. And that's just the reality. I mean, I think there's nobody in Belize that when he does these things, we have become used to the incompetence. We have become used to him being an airhead. And it's unfortunate that it comes at the cost of our national security. But what we should be talking about is when the Prime Minister and Courtney say that we only have 1,000 troops and Guatemala has 20,000 troops. We need to increase our military. That is something that as Prime Minister in a UDP government, my cabinet and I will look at increasing our military. We cannot wait for anybody to save us. As we see with the Sarstoon, no one is interfering. And while Courtney was big and bad when he was in opposition, Johnny was big and bad. They were right there with Wilma here, in the boat, going to the Sarstoon. Now, Wilma here not forgot at the Sarstoon.
Florencio Marin, the Minister of National Defense, has confirmed that Belize will be sending soldiers to Haiti to join a security mission led by Kenya and the United Nations. According to Minister Marin, at least 50 soldiers and Coast Guards will represent Belize in the mission. He also confirmed that preparations are already underway to deploy these individuals.
Not everything is decided as yet. That Belize will participate, yes. But if you're asking for the details, we have not gone through that as yet. We still need, what we're hearing is that Kenya will lead the delegation with the support of the United Nations and other big countries. But we don't have all the specific details as to when and yet. However, our Belize Defense Force and our Coast Guard are beginning to make the necessary preparations for when the time comes. I'll leave that up to the General and the Admiral to make that decision who best will go. Part of the decision for that will be on the mission that has been defined as to why will troops be going to Haiti. What role will they play? From there, the General and Admiral Bennett will be able to decide who are the best soldiers and sailors to go. We are beginning to make all the necessary preparations right now. They're planning as to what is needed, the cost, the training, the equipment. All these works have to be going before we can actually deploy the troops.
While the Minister of National Defense has confirmed Belize's participation in the upcoming mission to Haiti, the leader of the opposition says that there is better use for those soldiers and sailors at home. In the context of the ongoing tension between Belize and Guatemala at the Sarstoon, Shine Barrow says that a forward operating base should be re-established at the mouth of the river and have BDF and Coast Guard personnel deployed to that location. Barrow also says that Belize should address its own issues with gang violence first before joining a peacekeeping mission to Haiti.
So when it comes to sending BDF soldiers to Haiti, if we need to take care of Belize, we need to fix the gang problem in Belize. before we can venture to Haiti. But I do understand that we are part of CARICOM, and so it is something that needs to be considered, but I would ask the government to consider fixing the gang problem here in Belize before they could try to put our soldiers at harm's way in Haiti. Before we send 50 soldiers to Haiti, put 50 soldiers at the Sarstoon. Put a makeshift FBO at the Sarstoon. The House of Representatives authorized over $1 million to build a FBO. Why is it that we have no presence at the Sarstoon? So you want to go to Haiti? Meanwhile, at the Sarstoon, the Guatemalan armed forces are taking our flags on 10th of September. The Guatemalan armed forces are harassing and intimidating our Belizean women, men, and children. But you want to go to Haiti? Make we fix what happened at Sarstoon.
Coming up, embattled attorney Oscar Salgado resigns as chair of the Labor Advisory Committee. We'll have more details when we come back.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith." On day 6 of the ill-fated mission of Apollo 13, the astronauts needed to make a critical course correction. If they failed, they might not return to Earth. To conserve power, they shut down the onboard computer that steered the craft, yet the astronauts needed to conduct a 39-second burn of the main engine. How could they steer the craft? Astronaut Jim Lovell determined that if they could keep a fixed point in space in view through their tiny window, they could steer the craft manually. That focal point turned out to be their destination, the Earth. For 39 agonizing seconds, Lovell focused on keeping the Earth in view. And by not losing sight of that reference point, the 3 astronauts avoided disaster. The Bible also reminds us that in order for us to finish our life mission successfully, that we need to fix our eyes on Jesus Christ, the author and the finisher of our faith. May God help you to finish with Jesus being the focal point of your life. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Everything is better electric. Be more efficient with electric vehicles and transforming your home with Energy Star electric appliances and power tools. This helps to create a greener and cleaner world for the next generation. Energize your world with BL.
Dengue and Zika alert. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that as we enter the rainy season, be aware of the dangers of dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. These are infectious diseases that are transmitted by the bite of Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are most active in early morning and late afternoon. Activities that should be done to prevent dengue and Zika include: avoid having containers that can collect water in your yard. Cover water storage containers such as drums. Change the water in flower pots every 4 or 5 days. These are ideal breeding sites for the mosquito. With the elimination of breeding sites in and around the yard, dengue and Zika can be avoided. Dengue and Zika begin with sudden onset of high fever. Other signs and symptoms include rash, joint pain, eye pain. If you are pregnant or planning to become pregnant, we advise you to visit your nearest health facility. The public is also encouraged to use mosquito repellent spray or lotion on the body or clothing. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. A health and wellness message from your Ministry of Health.
all have dreams that we are chasing, goals we're striving for, and loved ones we want to provide for. There is one thing that can provide you with a sense of security and empowerment. That is planning for the future and starting to save. Just as a tree starts as a seed and grows with time, your savings will grow. It's never too early or too late to take that crucial step towards securing your future. Saving is not just about putting money aside. It's a promise to yourself and your loved ones that you are taking control of your destiny. It all begins with a plan and the commitment to save, no matter how big or how small. Educate yourself about different savings options to help you achieve your plans. Remember, no matter where you are on your journey, the key is to start. Every step you take towards planning and saving is a step towards empowerment and peace of mind. Talk to your loved ones about your goals and dreams. Create a roadmap for a brighter future. That tree you planted now provides shade and shelter for your dreams. Embrace the power of planning for your future and starting to save. Your dreams are waiting, and your journey to a brighter tomorrow begins today. Plan today, save for tomorrow.
A message from the Central Bank of Belize. For more information, visit our website at centralbank.org.bz.
Today, embattled attorney Oscar Salgado resigned as chair of the Labor Advisory Committee. A letter from the Ministry of Labor to Salgado notes that the ministry has accepted the resignation. The Ministry of Labor expressed gratitude to Salgado for his service as chair of the board. As we have reported, Salgado is currently on trial in the High Court for abetment to commit murder. He is accused of contracting a Belize City man to kill a woman who reportedly filed a complaint of sexual assault against him before the General Legal Counsel. The alleged assault incident reportedly dates back to 2013. Salgado was scheduled to appear before the General Legal Counsel in March of 2019, but that hearing reportedly never occurred. So, did the ministry not do its due diligence when Salgado was selected to chair the board? We will have to ask the Minister of Labor, Oscar Requena, when we get a chance to speak with him. The United Democratic Party is chiding the Briceño administration for entering into a loan agreement with the Social Security Board for the construction of a pair of administration buildings to be erected on Lake Independence Boulevard. On September 22nd, SSB unveiled an investment project for the development of a public administration campus adjacent to the Eleanor Hall building. The funds for the project will come from a public-private partnership involving the government of Belize. The present government, when in opposition a few years ago, criticized the Barrow administration for its use of Petrocaribe funds for the Eleanor Hall building, which was described at the time as unnecessary. Today, the UDP decried the project, which it says will saddle Belizean taxpayers for the next 30 years.
This is a nightmare from Briceño Street. And the script could not have been written to be more frightening than it is now. Because when you look at the players involved in the looting of the Social Security funds that belong to the Belizean people, that should be there for the Belizean people when they retire, so that they can have something to sustain them. When you look at the players that were involved, it's the same names. So explain to me now how this government is borrowing $40 million from the taxpayers' Social Security financing to build a building that they said we didn't even need the first building. No, we need 2 more buildings because it is 40 million, 40 change. There was a 20 million that they put out, but they're afraid to tell you about the next 20 million. Then we just saw another 6.5 million that was gazetted. I know that is for another crony, and all of this 5 months before the municipal elections. We have to call it for what it is. It is corruption, it is looting of the taxpayers' dollars in the context, in the backdrop of the highest inflation and cost of living that we have ever seen.
According to Second Deputy Party Leader Beverly Williams, the framework for a special purpose vehicle is already in existence. It is the same structure that was established for the Belize Infrastructure Limited under the Barrow administration to oversee the construction of the Belize City Civic Center, as well as the Eleanor Hall building.
I think most importantly the fact that structure exists under the special purpose vehicle is already there. The composition is there. But this new structure that they're using, we are not aware. There's not enough evidence on how that is structured, and so that brings into question what it is that they're doing and why everything appears so secretively. But the interest rate that is being used for the loan at 5% is also a big concern, because the rate of return, the benchmark for Social Security, is at 7%. So why 5%?
If this government claims such robust stimulus in the economy, such robust GDP growth, why are you touching the people's Social Security money? You should have that money available. The commercial banks here are liquid. The governor of the central bank just gave all his statistics. They are liquid. We have many bilateral partners that are giving funds. But more important, the Prime Minister said he got the money with the highest cost of fuel ever. He has grown the economy on the backs of the Belizeans. So why are we going to Social Security?
The United Democratic Party also says that over the life of the loan agreement with SSB, the private entity responsible for the initial $30 million loan to build a campus would have realized $144 million. Here's how Vice Chairman Alberto August explains it.
Bill was a part of government structure. Who is Campus One? That's a private, as far as we know, it's a private entity. Bill was responsible for expending government resources for the purposes of building government assets. This is a totally private entity who will be obtaining $30 million from Social Security. At the end of 30 years, they are going to be walking away with $144 million on a $30 million investment. I am wondering who is so powerful to have convinced this government to commit the people of this country for 30 years to be paying $400,000 per month to a private entity. They are walking away. They are walking away with a loan from Social Security at an interest of 5.5%. When they invest that $30 million in that building, they are going to walk away with $144 million, sir. That is 446% of that $30 million, and that is the concern.
After the break, St. John's College opens new university, complete with science and engineering labs. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Number one caller. Number one caller. Hey, number one caller. You know why? Listen, hey, for the best post and prepaid. You know that smart got you back. For the best service coverage. All we know that smart got you back. Travel and connect everywhere. You know that smart got you back. Smart record that'll go a long, long way. All we know that smart got you caller is the number one caller with smart, bringing people together.
Inspection first. Once the inspection passes, we do the connection for you.
Our teams at BEL continue to serve you.
It seems like every other day, we hear of a family member or friend being diagnosed with a serious illness such as cancer, heart attack, kidney failure, or stroke. When these illnesses strike, you want to focus on recovery and your overall well-being. At RFNG Life Insurance, we offer critical illness insurance to help with medical expenses when diagnosed with such critical illnesses, providing security to access quality healthcare facilities and to ease the worry about finances. In case you are diagnosed with a life-threatening illness that is covered by the policy, critical illness insurance pays you a lump sum amount to help you obtain access to quality treatment and medication. Having critical illness insurance provides the financial support that will bring you and your family the security and peace of mind necessary to manage these illnesses. The possibility of being diagnosed can be worrying, but by having a critical illness plan, you could have funds to assist with expenses such as medications, hospital deductibles, childcare, household expenses, and so much more. The right time to plan for the unexpected is when you're healthy. For more information, visit our office today to speak with one of our experienced agents about critical illness insurance. Your health and wellness is what matters most. Take care of it.
As an institution, it has been around since 1887, offering a wide variety of liberal arts and science courses at the secondary, British A-level and United States junior college levels. Founded by the Society of Jesus as St. John's College, the school opened with 12-day students and 2 boarders, offering a high school education to only boys. But the institution has grown leaps and bounds over the last century, and now it boasts its own full-fledged university, complete with a fully equipped and furnished science lab and engineering unit, study halls, and more, all to the tune of over $10 million. Ground was broken in 2020, but COVID and Hurricane Lisa put a damper on its progress. But today, St. John's proudly opened the facility. News 5's Marian Ali was there and filed this report.
This spanking new building is where many of Belize's future career engineers, nurses, and community leaders will spend their time earning their bachelor degrees over the next couple of years. Today, St. John's College opened its university, much to the delight of the Ministry of Education, which had given the green light back in 2021. Education Minister Francis Fonseca was present for the momentous occasion.
The Jesuits have been at the forefront of education in Belize for many decades. And certainly it was important for us at the Ministry of Education and for me personally as the Minister of Education to give my full support to moving St. John's College to really a final stage, which is the bachelor's degree program, and making them a full-fledged university here in Belize. And of course today as well they are inaugurating their science building. Again, that's another pillar of our education agenda, making sure that we are providing greater opportunities for students in Belize young people in Belize and everyone really to get access to science and technology education.
The achievement is the result of a few years of efforts, with the groundbreaking having taken place back in 2020. But COVID and Hurricane Lisa delayed the process. Finally, the facility, with 15,000 square feet of space on each of its 3 floors, boasts quite a few amenities.
We got the permission to go 4 years, and so we have on the 2nd floor we have a nursing lab and a nursing hall. We also have an engineering room. We have huge facilities for inorganic and organic chemistry. We have for biology. We have 2 math labs, and we also have 4 classrooms. We also have 2 large conference halls, one for the university, one for the junior college, 2 faculty rooms, and huge spaces in terms of storage and preparatory rooms for our teachers and our students.
President of St. John's College, Mirta Peralta, shared that the institution is accredited and belongs to the Association of Jesuit Colleges and Universities, which is a prestigious status to hold.
We are accredited because we also belong to the Association of Jesuit Colleges and Universities, and so we are alongside Georgetown University, Fordham University, and 27 other universities in the United States.
Peralta explained that the university's curriculum was carefully selected after a national survey was conducted. In planning for the future, Peralta says that in years to come, students will be able to earn their master's and doctorate degrees as well.
We are really listening to the people. We're listening to the students in this country, and those are the programs that we implement, but also aligning it to the needs of the country, and of course to the Belize Education Sector Plan that the government rolled out in 2021-2025. We have business, we have cybersecurity, psychology, criminology, engineering, and nursing. And we're hoping, and all of these programs have been established, and our universities from the United States have helped us in the development of this.
Already, the new facility has almost 200 students enrolled. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Since the COVID pandemic swept through the country, getting students back to the classrooms and up to speed with their education has meant that the Ministry of Education has had to invest far more than it has initially budgeted for. This is as a result of many students whose parents and guardians simply couldn't handle the expenses that accompany educating a student. So the government stepped in and assisted these students. And today, the Minister of Education, Francis Fonseca, said it was imperative for the government to do so.
Especially coming out of COVID, we recognize that many families were struggling. And we did not want students to not be in school simply because they could not afford to be in school. So we had to make a deliberate decision and a commitment to providing additional resources. So yes, it's unprecedented, but it's unprecedented for a reason, because there is a need, particularly, as I said, coming out of COVID, where we had our students out of the classrooms for almost 2 years, and we wanted to ensure that they got back to school. No excuses, we didn't want any excuse. And so when parents come to us and say, listen, they're not in school because we can't afford it, then we have to step in and make sure that they have an opportunity to access education. So, you know, that's our duty and responsibility. It's not anything to be praised about. We have a duty and responsibility to do that, and I'm very happy that we're able to do it with the support of the entire government.
On Thursday, we told you about an amendment to the Criminal Code Act that could see persons convicted of aggravated assault face up to as much as 5 years imprisonment. The amendment will upgrade the use of threatening words or behaviors from a petty offense to a serious offense. Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa says this is one of the most common charges brought against individuals before the magistrate court. He explained why the amendment was necessary.
When you're speaking generally about the group of individuals now being protected, there was a recognition by the Attorney General that these certain groups of people who are very public in terms of the type of work that they do for the country are exposed and oftentimes targeted. And so it was felt by Cabinet and by the National Security Council that we needed to offer some level of protection for this group of individuals. And so there are two pieces of legislation that will be amended under the Summary Jurisdiction Offences Act and under the Criminal Code dealing with matters of assault, which will now be elevated to the level of an aggravated assault, similar to an instance if someone were to assault a police officer. That is considered aggravated assault. And so it would be categorized on that level now. And as well the level of threat. If there is a threat made against any of these individuals, that would also attract a higher sanction. Usually in an instance of a threat to one's life, the court would normally impose certainly restrictions in terms of you cannot communicate with this individual, you cannot go near to them, that sort of thing. But it cannot be assumed if you go to the magistrate's court right at this very moment, there are many people being charged for threatening words. That is one of the most common charges. So the police cannot assign a police to every single citizen of the country. That is understandable. And so that is why we thought it necessary to increase the charges for this particular group of individuals, and that would offer some protection.
Minister Musa was also asked about the decrease in violent crimes for 2023 and whether these statistics validate the Commissioner of Police's performance. Minister Musa responded by saying that the decrease is a testament of improved performance across the department.
I think that more than the commissioner's solidification, it is the entire department. You know, many times police have a very thankless job. Many times the media are the first to go and attack the police department. But you have seen over the last year where there have been changes in terms of less accusations against the police department for abuse and brutality. And so you can see where there is a pivot within the department. And along with that comes excellent police work. Going hand in hand with the LIU. And so yes, at the very top there is the Commissioner of Police, but all police officers, I think that this year has been a good year for them, and so we have to congratulate them when it is that we're seeing the kind of results that we're now seeing.
When we return, financing for renewable and efficient energy sources and the risks.
Number one caller. Number one caller. Hey, number one caller. You know why? Listen, hey, for the best post and prepaid. You know that smart got you back. For the best service coverage. All we know that smart got you back. Travel and connect everywhere. You know that smart got you back. Smart make that go a long, long way. All we know that smart got you back. Do ya bang? Let's go. Do ya bang? Every caller is the number one caller with smart, bringing people together.
With NextGen, every day is a chance to explore the wonders of the digital world, providing a reliable connection to make learning fun, to turn ordinary moments into extraordinary adventures, to discover new passions and exciting new worlds together. Unlock a world of possibilities at home with the fastest, most affordable high-speed internet and entertainment plans. NextGen, the ultimate digital experience.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
The CARICOM Development Fund, CDF, and the Development Finance Corporation, DFC, have partnered to create greater access to funding for investments in renewable and efficient energy sources for small and medium enterprises, SMEs. The program is targeting business owners in the tourism industry, the agricultural sector, manufacturing, and housing. Though business owners in these fields may be aware of the long-term benefits of switching to renewable and efficient energy sources, these projects often require a great deal of capital. Financial institutions also do not readily provide financing for these types of projects. CDF and the DFC are working to change that. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
It is no secret that countries across the world have been fast-tracking their efforts to decrease their carbon footprints by turning to more renewable energy sources. Belize is no exception. But financing renewable energy projects for SMEs can come at a great risk to financial institutions if the projects proposed are of poor quality and lacks viability. As a result, CDF has established the Credit Risk Abatement Facility.
What the facility does is that it takes on risks at different levels and at different stages in the development of the projects. So it's not just the risk associated with lending to these SMEs. Generally, SMEs are felt to be high-risk prospects for the banking sector. But it's also the what we might call the idiosyncratic risks, but the peculiar risks associated with particular projects. So we deal with each of the projects on a case-by-case basis. And because we're dealing with what are considered to be relatively new or unfamiliar technologies to SMEs, there's a lot of technology-related risks, a lot of risks associated with making poor decisions with respect to the type of technology, the scale of technology, the timing of implementation, the types of measures you need to put in place to ensure that you have sustainable cash flows to repay your loans.
To address the reluctance by financial institutions to provide the necessary funds to see these projects completed, the Credit Risk Abatement Facility will also cover the majority share of the financial risk associated with lending for these types of projects through guarantees.
What was preventing the banks from providing more financing is that the SMEs could not meet for example, their collateral requirements. So we are developing a suite of products under the credit risk element of it, where the first product that we are offering is a partial credit guarantee, which could cover up to 80% of the cost of the loan. And that is what really enticed many of the banks that we've been able to onboard to the facility to become part of it. And because we know we are ensuring that the projects that get to the banks eventually are quality projects, we don't expect the guarantees to be called upon. But in the event that they're called, we are putting in place a system for rapid response.
The Development Finance Corporation is the first and only financial institution in Belize that CDAF has onboarded thus far. The threshold ranges from $25,000 to $750,000 US.
What the CRAF is doing, it's creating the financial inclusion by providing a partial guarantee. Now, I must say, this is not something that if you choose not to pay, then they will pay. No, it's not that simple. It means we have to do everything under the law to collect, and after we demonstrate to them that we have done every single thing to collect, then they may pay up to 80% of what is uncollected. So it's proper financial due diligence and following everything through. The DFC just can't go crazy and give out loans because we can get 80% back. It's not that, right? Yes. But this is a powerful thing, because what it allows us to do and allow Belizean businesses to do is to, besides the climate benefits of it by reducing footprint and everything else, it's good for business. It reduces your operating costs and makes you more competitive.
Essentially, studies show that switching to renewable and efficient energy sources reduces operational costs and allow businesses to become more competitive. An opportunity also exists for these decentralized energy systems to sell excess energy generated to the national grid. The regulatory policies to do this are not quite in place as yet, but the Public Utilities Commission says they are coming.
The recognition is okay. You now have what we call bidirectional flows of power. So not only can you have these big power plants putting energy at the top of the flow, but we can also have at the customer side, at the end-use side, customers are able to produce energy locally, and where they have excess resources, that energy can then come back and be used to supply other customers that need. We are in the last phase of that regulation. The final draft is getting ready for publication this month, where we are going to make it easier. We're going to expedite the authorization for small people up to 1 megawatt to be able to get authorizations to undertake these activities, to produce electricity, and if there's excess, to sell it to the grid.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The Ministry of Education is in the process of revamping Stella Maris School for Children with Special Needs, as well as the public libraries in Belize City. The transformation will begin in January and will include the provision of Wi-Fi and making the facilities more conducive to learning. Today, Minister Fonseca said after the work is finished, the school and libraries should feel like appealing community spaces.
So there will be a lot of work starting there in January on those libraries to completely transform Stella Maris into a truly inclusive educational institution that's welcoming for people with diverse abilities, and to make the libraries more relevant to the needs of young people today. We want young people to go into these libraries, so we have to have full Wi-Fi access, and we have to really transform the layout of the library, make it more appealing, make them community spaces where young people and families feel like they can go and really enjoy their experience at the libraries.
As you'd know, Fonseca is also the Minister of Culture and Chair of the Belize National Celebrations Commission. With the September festivities behind us, we took the opportunity this morning to ask him for a review of the events.
All the feedback we've gotten from everyone, from all the stakeholders, has been very positive. I think, as everyone knows, we've already said that we have to take a more critical look at the carnival, obviously. We had some challenges there. So we'll have to do that. We'll have to review that. But overall, I think we got great passing marks from the public. Everybody felt, I think, a sense of energy and upliftment and pride in Belize during the month of September. So I think it was a great September celebrations for the country.
Just before news time this evening, the Belize Cancer Society launched its Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign. The month of October is observed as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is designated globally to increase awareness about breast cancer and to promote early detection, prevention, and treatment. During this month, organizations, healthcare professionals, survivors, and supporters are coming together to educate individuals about the importance of regular breast self-exams, mammograms, and clinical checkups. The launch of the Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign is just one of the events scheduled for this month. Up next in this week's episode of Looking on the Bright Side, celebrating Older Persons Week by honoring wisdom and experience.
What happened here? Nothing. Sit garbage, sir. See the garbage, you just take the garbage and dash it over and take it back and ride.
What you talk about? You just do the same thing right there?
Yes, but the young lady made tell me about how important it is to keep the country clean. You should have stay right there to get educated.
I never know they had an education.
All right. Hold it on, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Come this side, please. The Department of Environment. I saw what happened just now, and the gentleman is right. You threw your garbage on the roadside, and you took your bicycle, and you rode away. What you have just done is an environmental offense, and for that, I will give you a littering ticket.
Sir, why you only ticket this man 100? Why you not find him more than that?
Littering carries a fine of $100 per person. However, if it is a company, it is $500. What this gentleman just did is dumping, and dumping carries a heavier fine. But because it is a first-time offense, I made a decision to give him a $100 ticket. I just want to take this opportunity to let the public know to put their garbage in the proper place, or else they will get ticketed.
All right, thanks for the 5 cents, brother.
Why make we stop being nasty and stop dirty with countrymen? You say that's all of them garbage on the roadside. Then I didn't pick me have to go weekend and pick up the garbage.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babes, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Ouch.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank Online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
My Social Security. Your direct online access to all your Social Security information. 360 view of all your Social Security information. Registration services, benefits, contributions, and employer services at your fingertips. Enjoy all the new features with your My Social Security account. Register with SSB. Submission of benefit claims. Submission of contribution statements. View contribution record. Enjoy all your My Social Security feature at ssbportal.org.bz. Social Security at your fingertips.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
This week was dedicated to honoring the pillars of wisdom and resilience of our older generations. Throughout this week-long celebration, we've heard a number of stories that highlight the wisdom, resilience, as well as the unwavering dedication of our senior citizens. From the heartwarming tales of their past to the enduring values that have shaped our society. This week's Look on the Bright Side shines a light on the indomitable spirit of our older population. In a heartwarming tribute to the senior citizens who have enriched our lives with wisdom and experience, Older Persons Week was in full swing across the country. This annual celebration that began on October 1st is testament to the importance of our older generation. Leading the activities is HelpAge Belize, a non-governmental organization that has been serving the elderly since 1984.
We are committed to the well-being of older persons, working with and for older persons to ensure they have a dignified life.
HelpAge Belize serves the country, covering 11 locations and 2 residential facilities, reaching approximately 1,200 elders nationwide. Additionally, it operates 9-day centers, offering a wide range of services and activities designed to foster social interaction and provide essential mental support for the elderly. Executive Director Ivorine Bulwer told us more.
With the support from government, we are able to provide those services. At the same time, at all our sites, that aspect of ensuring that that socialization for all our older persons, that interactive aspect. And we're looking at that mental well-being where they're able to communicate, where they're able to socialize with each other.
As the festivities commenced, we visited the Belize City Center, where spirited senior citizens were relishing a day of pampering. Among them is Ada Gallego, a widower, who has been involved in HelpAge activities for over 17 years. She candidly shares insights on leading a rewarding life.
I stayed at home and mind my kids. And from then, after that, I do a lot of exercise, walk 5 miles a day and drink a lot of water. And I'm not tired. I'm not tired. I walk from here to Electricity Board up the road and walk back.
Bertha Huchner has been part of this community for 7 years. She says that the key to a joyful life is the initial choice to embrace happiness.
If you want to be happy, then you have to make it happy. You have to make yourself happy. Don't make nobody make you unhappy. That means doing the correct thing in life.
We try to celebrate our older persons on a daily basis. But the week of celebration, we're celebrating older persons under the theme Resilience of Older Persons in a Changing World. And across the country, we have various activities going on.
Accompanying these teenagers is a group of young volunteers. They are actively engaged in community service and eagerly absorb the wisdom being imparted. As expected, there is a wealth of useful knowledge to offer, and the volunteers seek their guidance without a second thought.
What advice would you give me as I move forward and go to St. John's College?
I went to Palote High School. I went up to sixth form level. I taught at Belize Technical, not taught, but I was a secretary at Belize Technical College. And then I moved on to University of Belize, where I dealt with, from my department, like 400 and odd students. So my thing to them was, some of them, sometimes would want to drop out of school. I advised them, don't listen to friends. Think for yourself, and advise them. And at the end of the day, they graduated. When I'm 41 years old, I went back to school. I went back to school at St. John's Extension. I did 4 years there. I have one CXC in English. And I graduated, but I may always want to go to school.
Joseph McLaurin is also enjoying this week's festivities. He shows me a tidy catalog of accomplishments as a bodybuilder in his former glory. At 74, McLaren still prioritizes his health.
To celebrate this moment of the week of the elderly, I believe that we need to pay attention to elderly because we was in their place when we were young. So we have to take that responsibility because when we were baby, we might to do the same thing, take care of we, carry a doctor, make sure wet up and all these things. And the future is us, and the future is them because if we take care of them, we will pass it on what we learn from them into our younger generation coming up.
For McLaren, the ultimate self-love is to make one's health a top priority. We are here celebrating Older Persons Week with you guys. How do you, Mr. Mark, prefer to be celebrated?
The way I want to celebrate this week or down the road is to treat everybody with love and respect. And if you could do that honor to yourself, then you could go down the road 60, 70, 80, 90 until the big man say bye, the time is up.
Executive Director Bulwer emphasizes that mutual learning and guidance can occur between younger individuals and older persons.
They can learn from the older persons, and the older person can provide some guidance, especially those who are retired, can offer education session to our youths in the community to provide that level of guidance and to help them along the right path.
From profound life lessons to enjoyable, light-hearted activities, the central message remains clear. Our elders have a wealth of experience and wisdom. As I conclude my interactions, I've had the privilege of learning dance moves from an elder who seems to have been the life of the party in her younger years. Even now, she proudly declares that no matter her age or gray hair, she'll continue to grace the dance floor. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.